Okay, so are you ready to get cozy? Today, we're going to be diving into some forecasts, see what your winter might look like,
Yeah.
especially with La Nina possibly coming up.
Yeah?
And I've got our expert with us today to kind of help us break down all this weather stuff. So,
Always happy to talk about the weather, especially when we can
yeah,
connect the dots between like the global patterns and what's happening in your backyard.
exactly,
Hmm?
exactly.
Yeah.
So, no crystal ball or anything, but we do have your personalized stack of articles,
Right.
and they're all pointing towards one uh, pretty chilly guest star, La Nina.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's a pretty good bet for this winter, huh?
Yeah, it's looking that way. All the signs are pointing to it. At least
Okay.
all the forecasts do mention, though, that it's probably going to be
Yeah.
a pretty weak La Nina this time around.
Okay.
Only like a 60% chance it fully develops.
Okay, so maybe not like blizzard every weekend scenario.
Right, exactly.
So remind me how La Nina works again. Isn't it something about like the Pacific Ocean being cooler?
Yeah, you got it. So think of the Pacific Ocean like a giant swimming pool, right?
Yeah.
And when that pool is a little bit cooler than average, thanks to La Nina, it's like it kicks off this chain reaction up in the atmosphere.
Wow.
It can change wind patterns. It even messes with the jet stream.
Wow.
Yeah, and that, my friend, that's how this whole thing impacts your winter.
So interesting.
Yeah.
And a weaker La Nina makes those impacts a bit more, mysterious?
A little bit, yeah. It keeps us on our toes, that's for sure.
Okay.
Weaker La Nina means that other weather patterns, like, like a wobbly jet stream or maybe what's happening up in the Arctic,
Yeah.
that can have a much bigger impact or influence on how your winter actually ends up. It's kind of like trying to predict a basketball game where, one team, they have like slight home court advantage.
Right.
But the other team has like these star players that could just totally change the game.
That's a good analogy.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
You got to watch the whole court, not just, one player.
Exactly.
The whole playing field.
Okay, so we got to watch the whole playing field, not just La Nina herself.
Right.
But let's get specific now.
Okay.
You handed in some articles about potential impacts.
Yeah.
Based on your location.
Yeah.
So first up, are you going to be like digging out your warmest coat this year? Or can you get away with a light jacket?
Let's see what the forecasts say.
Okay, yeah, because one of these articles from KGW.com, it talks about La Nina winters in Portland.
Okay.
Specifically. And it is predicting that things are going to be chilly, like colder than usual.
Oh, wow.
Plus, you're saying the valley might be in for more rain than usual. And up at the Cascade Mountains, well,
oh, yeah.
let's just say all those skiers and snowboarders might be in for a real treat.
Yeah.
They even mentioned that back in 2008. During a La Nina winter, Portland got hit with 19 inches of snow in December alone.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
That's a snow day right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you hit on a really, really crucial point, too, which is, just because there's more precipitation doesn't always automatically mean you're going to get that snow globe winter wonderland.
Right.
It all comes down to the interplay, that dance between the temperature and the precipitation.
It's a winter waltz.
It is a winter waltz.
And speaking of temperatures, this CNN article gives a little bit of a broader view.
Okay.
They're saying that most of the southern U.S. and the East Coast can expect a warmer than usual winter.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Maybe hold off on buying those snow boots just yet if you're in those areas.
Yeah, unless you're planning on just like building like an indoor snowman or something.
Right.
But all kidding aside,
yeah,
a warm, dry south, while it might sound like a dream to some, could actually be really tough for those areas already struggling with drought.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, you think about the impact on farms, water restrictions.
Right.
Could even increase the risk of wildfires.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure.
This same CNN article also suggests that the northern U.S., especially the Pacific Northwest, and the Midwest, they might be reaching for their umbrellas more often.
Okay.
With a wetter than usual winter.
Okay.
They even specifically mentioned a good amount of snow in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Which could be good news for things like, snowpack.
Right, which is super important.
Yeah.
It is. Think of snowpack like like nature's giant water tower, basically.
Oh, I get that.
As that snow slowly melts through the spring and the summer, it helps replenish those rivers and impacts everything.
Yeah.
From drinking water to agriculture, you name it.
It's like nature's water bottle.
It really is, yeah. Nature's water bottle.
Okay, so we've got the Northwest potentially, like, stocking up on snow.
Yeah.
But what about other parts of the country?
Well, we've got an article here from the Arizona Republic.
Okay.
And, of course, it focuses on Arizona.
Okay.
They're thinking La Niña is going to bring them a warmer and drier winter.
Okay.
And even though it's supposed to be, a weaker La Niña,
right,
they're still concerned about their water supply.
Right.
Which is already stressed as it is.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It sounds like Arizona might be in for a pretty challenging season.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on.
So far, we've kind of looked at the broad strokes: warmer south, wetter north.
Right.
But let's dive into some of the more, intriguing tidbits from these articles.
Yeah, I like it.
That really bring this La Niña to life.
Yeah.
Those aha moments.
The details are where it gets interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like this Yahoo News article, it mentioned that last winter, the one we just kind of thought out from, was dominated by El Nino. Remember that heat wave?
Oh, yeah.
Turns out it was the warmest winter on record for the lower 48.
Wow, that's right. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, big shift from what we might be looking at this year.
Right.
And, that unusual warmth last winter had some pretty interesting side effects, too. The Yahoo article, it actually mentioned a real lack of snow in the Northeast and Midwest. Even called it get this, a winter snow drought.
A snow drought, that sounds, just sounds wrong.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it's amazing how much power these patterns have on our winters,
So last year, El Nino, it cranked up the heat.
Right.
And now we've got La Niña potentially bringing the chill.
Potentially, yeah.
But, how much chill are we really talking about here, especially with La Niña maybe taking it easy this year?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
Right.
The same Yahoo News article, it points out that a weaker La Niña, it can make things a lot less predictable.
Okay.
Especially in the Northeast. It's like, you're trying to guess which way a leaf is going to blow in the wind.
Right.
There are just so many different things that could happen.
Yeah.
So many variables.
Okay.
Yeah.
So predicting this winter is basically like trying to, predict a leaf's journey.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm starting to see why you enjoy this so much.
Right. It's fun.
It's like a giant weather puzzle.
It is. It's a big puzzle.
But let's bring this back down to earth for a sec. No pun intended.
Sure.
Why does all of this even matter?
Yeah.
Especially if, this La Niña might be kind of a no-show.
That's a great question. Because understanding these patterns, even the weaker ones, it gives us a heads up.
Right.
It's all about being prepared, just like checking the weather forecast before you go on a big trip.
Exactly.
Right. If you know there's a chance of rain, you pack an umbrella.
Right.
If it's looking like a snowy winter, maybe invest in some good snow tires.
It's about making informed decisions. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Right. Informed decisions. For example, we know that the Pacific Northwest might be getting more precipitation, including snow.
Right.
It can have a huge ripple effect, right?
Right.
Water managers, they can start adjusting their strategies. Ski resorts can get ready for, a super busy season.
Right.
Local governments can even prepare for things like road closures.
Wow.
Other weather-related issues that might pop up.
So it's like a domino effect.
It is. It is.
And La Niña is like the first domino?
First domino, exactly.
And what about other regions like the South?
Yeah.
We're expecting a warmer, drier winter.
Right.
Well, what does that mean for them?
In that scenario, understanding that there's a potential for more drought, higher wildfire risk, that's super important.
Right.
It lets those communities take steps to get ready. Right. Put water conservation measures in place or be really, really careful about fire safety.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So while La Niña can give us some hints, it's not giving us the winning lottery numbers.
Exactly.
Especially with this potentially weaker one that we're looking at.
Right. Right.
It sounds like the key takeaway here is just to, stay informed.
Absolutely. Stay informed and pay attention to how those local weather patterns change, how they develop over the winter.
Right.
Because things could get interesting.
Interesting indeed. Yeah, no kidding. I like that advice. Stay informed, be prepared.
Right.
Maybe keep those snow boots a little bit closer to the front closet, just in case.
Just in case. You never know.
You never know. Well, on that note, we've reached the end of our La Niña deep dive.
It really has. It's flown by.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me on this whirlwind tour of,
Of course.
Potential winter wonderlands and
and rain boots.
Rain boots and everything in between.
Everything in between. That's right.
That's right.
It's been a pleasure.
And for everyone listening out there, stay warm. Stay cozy. Bundle up. Keep those weather apps handy.
Absolutely.
And we will catch you in the next episode of The Deep Dive.